What's going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the Record Spinner. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a little vinyl haul that I received today from INSOUND.com. I asked you guys on my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts regarding this haul if I should do a separate video on it, or if I should wait on it and include it with all the other records that I received within January and February for my next bi-monthly haul. I figured you guys were the best people I should ask regarding this, and you guys wanted a separate video on this, and that is exactly what I am delivering to you all today on this channel. So for those of you that are not aware, INSOUND.com is a discount music site that offers CDs, CD box sets, and vinyl at a majorly discounted price, and the prices are rather unbeatable just in comparison to what other retailers are selling them for, but they are even more unbeatable when they have special sales going on for certain holidays or whenever they hold them. And recently they did a 60% off sale. That's right, I said 60% off. And at the moment, I was feeling rather diverse, let's say. So this haul features a lot of different albums and all kinds of different genres and textures and whatnot. So we're gonna dig right into this right now. Now, I heard of this company back last summer in 2018. There was a fellow vinyl YouTuber by the name of Matt. His channel is Too Many Records. He showcased this website on his Instagram story, and I checked it out for myself, and there was a lot of stuff on there that I had never seen so low of a price at. So, like, I picked up Rush, I picked up Yes, Dream Theater, Jethro Tull, and just all kinds of stuff that I knew I would never see that low again. And I had pretty much combed through the site rather well to pick up the stuff that I was really wanting. And then in December of 2018, they did like a little Christmas Black Friday sale, and I got Phil Collins and Jethro Tull. And now I was like really combing through to see what exactly caught my eye and what I was really wanting. There were a couple things I had to think about, but once I kind of came to my general consensus on if I should get it or not, I'm really glad that I did. And there's just all kinds of different stuff here in this little haul that I'm going to show you guys. So let's rip and render our way through the package, and let's dig in this, shall we? Alright, so right off the bat, now this is the first record that I decided on purchasing, and this is one that I was kind of on the fence of, because let's just say this. The time frame that this particular live album covers has already been well documented on another live album that this artist has put out. But I decided, you know what? It's something different. It's a different show altogether. And plus, I mean, the period that this band was in was just absolutely phenomenal by all means. This is Deep Purple in Concert 72. Now, this came out, when did this come out? Back around 2012, and this is actually a remix of the show. Basically, this concert was recorded live for the BBC, and this is essentially like Machine Head Live. I mean, this was right before the album had come out, so you get, you know, Highway Star, Smoke on the Water, of course, Space Truckin', but then again, you also get other songs that rarely were played live by this lineup, such as Maybe I'm a Leo and Never Before. So I figured, just considering that Machine Head is such a phenomenal record in general, having a live version of that particular album would be absolutely fine. This, of course, also features a bonus 7-inch single of the encore, which was Lucille, and also a soundcheck version of Maybe I'm a Leo. So here is the front, which kind of emulates the Machine Head cover a little bit. Here is the back side with photos of the band. You'll probably get a better angle once the shrink wrap is off. And then the track list as well. And let's open up this, shall we? Hope you guys are excited to see what else I picked up in this little haul, because there are some great finds in this, I must say. Okay, shrink wrap is off. I'll save the hype sticker once I'm done opening up everything. So here is the front again, and here I'll show you a better angle of the back side. Got some liner notes there talking about the show. Here is the gatefold cover, which features all kinds of photos taken from the show. Just absolutely amazing stuff here. Absolutely love the Mark II period of Deep Purple, as they call it. And here is the first album. And here we are. Pressed on very nice 108 gram vinyl. And it's on that classic kind of green olive Warner Brothers label. And just by looking in the dead wax, this was indeed pressed at the Optimal Pressing Plant in Germany, and this was also mastered by Sean McGee. I'm going to assume over at Abbey Road, because that's usually where he does a lot of his mastering stuff at. And then it is a 2-album set too. So, and also I took out the 7-inch, which I will show. Here is the other LP. And of course, the album that I was referencing that already covers the live period of this time frame of the band is, of course, Made in Japan, which is the phenomenal live album that they put out after Machine Head. So that's kind of the reason why, because I had actually just recently picked up a copy of Machine Head, not Machine Head, Made in Japan. And so I kind of had to think about this one for a while, but looking back, I think I made a very wise choice with this. And here is 7-inch as well, which is housed in a rather standard Warner Brothers sleeve. And this is also pressed on the green Warner Brothers label, which is really cool. So this is a really, really cool find, and I am sure this is actually going to be a rather fun listen indeed. Cannot wait to play it. And then up next we have a complete shift in genre and also time frame. This is actually a compilation that actually has come out rather recently, and I figured, you know, with this particular band, I'm a fan. But I don't know if I'm much of a fan to buy all the albums individually. I figured this compilation will suit me rather well. This right here is Pantera, History of Hostility. This is a single LP compilation album which came out back in 2015. And it pretty much includes the main key tracks from the band's, you know, period. Now, when I say period, I mean from like 90s to the early 2000s, because they did have like a glam metal period in the 80s that's kind of glanced over, and they kind of start fresh with Cowboys from Hell. So I figured to warm myself up in the waters of Pantera, this compilation will suit me well. So we'll showcase what it looks like. And also, this is pressed on colored vinyl, which I will show you guys. So we have like a rather matte cover with some shiny finishes on there, if you can get at the right angle. There you go. Take it out of the sleeve. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, this is the most basic packaging. We just have the sleeve and the paper sleeve. So unfortunately, there's no inserts or anything. And I have to be careful taking this out because I don't want to scuff it. And it's going to go in a anti-static sleeve. And here is the vinyl, which is a very nice piece of, I guess you would call it marbled vinyl, like marble with like purple vinyl, which looks great. So you have like flecks of black and white in there, which looks really good. And this was pressed over at, I think this was pressed at Rainbow Records, and this was mastered by Ian Sefcik. So really glad to have that. Kind of kick off my Pantera vinyl collection. I'm aware that the albums are available out there in terms of the reissues and such. But who knows, maybe giving this a couple of spins will perhaps encourage me to pick up the other albums that are in their discography. Alright, so now here is an album that caught my eye when I first saw it a couple years back, but I just never seemed to pick it up. Now, I was working with it for FYE at the time when I picked up the band's second album, which is their most notable one. And I remember that they had a copy of their first album, and I was just intrigued with it because the band is rather good. I did not necessarily hear any tracks off of this first album before seeing it, but after listening to a couple of tracks and hearing some of the samples, you know, it all really resonated to my ears. So I decided that since it was featured on the website, I figured I'd buy it for a cheap price of, I mean, it was only like $8 or so. Which, by the way, I should mention, the Deep Purple album was like maybe 16. Regularly, it was like 30-something, which was kind of steep for me. And this ended up being like $7. So for $8 for this next album, I figured why not and give it a shot. This is the debut album from Iron Butterfly. This is the first album called Heavy. Now, of course, the album that I was referencing earlier was Inagata Devita. I picked it up at the FYE store that I was working at the time. And yeah, this is the band's first album, mastered from the original analog tapes. Includes tracks like the Iron Butterfly theme, Possession, Get Out of My Life Woman. This is just a great piece of 60s psychedelia. And yeah, I really enjoyed what I heard from this album so far, so I figured might as well snag it for the collection. Here is the front. Here's the back side, which features the members of the band. And cool, so I have a really good guess. I know where this was pressed at. So we have the old school Acco Records label there. Pressed to RTI, because I noticed they put it in these kind of sleeves, and this was mastered by Chris Bellman, so this is a guarantee going to be a very excellent sounding pressing. Cannot wait to give this album a spin. And up next, and unfortunately this is the last record that I'm going to show in this haul, this is just simply one of those classic rock albums from the 70s. I took a look at the track listing, because I'm aware of this band, and I know the hits, and I know the songs, but I'm looking at the tracks, I'm like, wow, that's a hit, I know that from radio, my parents, raised me on this, and I just figured it was about time that I picked this album up, and this is also the first album of this band that I currently own in my collection, and perhaps this will encourage me to check out other albums in their collection. Bad Company, self-titled debut. Can't Get Enough, Ready for Love, Rocksteady, Don't Let Me Down, the song Bad Company. I mean, this album is just full of great tunes. This is a recent Rhino reissue, which came out in, I think this was in the early 2010s maybe, or late 2000s. The Bad Company catalog was also remastered and reissued recently, and they included like bonus tracks, and that was a bonus LP of stuff, but this is just the basic single LP reissue that Rhino did. Here's the front cover, here is the back side, then we open it up and we have a really cool picture of the band, which looks really cool. Boz Burrell, bass player and vocalist of King Crimson for a few years. And then, of course, you got Paul Rogers, who was in Free. And I can tell already, pressed at RTI. It's in the sleeve. And, of course, they were on Led Zeppelin's Swan Song record label, as you can tell by the center label there. And we are in for a real treat, because this particular pressing was mastered by Kevin Gray at Acoustic Mastering, and Kevin Gray is one of the best vinyl mastering engineers out there, and I have no doubts that this will be a absolutely phenomenal sounding record. So there you guys go. That was my little haul from INSOUND.com. Hope you enjoyed this little haul, and if you did, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the record spinning.